Okay, so I'm just going to comment on this guy's video regarding Digimon Time Strangers. I haven't seen it fully, I've just skimmed through it. So, yeah, don't attack anyone on this video. Don't harass anyone. If you want to make fun of the game, make fun of the game. If you want to make fun of the review, make fun of the review or whatever. But yeah, keep it to like, the BS in gaming. Don't take it to real life or anything.
In today's video, it's been a long journey to get to this point here, but we're talking about Digimon, specifically Digimon Story Time Stranger. Now, this is part of a series of turn-based RPGs set within the Digimon universe, including Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory. Now, I gotta own myself here because it's part of this journey into the Digimon world and why this game completely caught me off guard. I am that fringe Digimon fan. Like, I'm gonna call myself out. Grown up in the late 90s and early 2000s, I was that Digimon fan who only knew Agumon and honestly just said, why would I get into Digimon when I can play Pokemon? And when I grew out of Pokemon,
I actually liked both. When I was young, I still do like both, but I haven't been keeping up with either series. I have been playing Time Stranger for I think more than 100 hours now because I've just been addicted to the grind. I love the JRPG grind. You can make fun of it. It's fine.
it's not like I went to Digimon. I just went over to Mega Man Battle Network, and that was history, as many of you've heard before. It wasn't really until my college years that Digimon started to catch my attention. I was burnt out on Pokemon, and anytime I saw a Digimon doing something, it was more mature, like Digimon Survive, like this M-rated visual novel with choice and consequence, with tactical combat. I started to really fall in love with the risks they took with their franchise, but also how they managed to differentiate themselves from Pokemon. But now we're in a whole other world. We're talking about Time Stranger, which takes itself seriously, but is also a great turn-based RPG. Now, this wasn't really part of the plan. If you asked me earlier in the year, Maddie, it's the end of September, entering October, what are you going to be reviewing for Retro Rebound? I would have normally told you it would have been Final Fantasy Tactics, but I kind of had a choice to make. When Bandai reached out to me and said, hey, do you want to check out Digimon Story Time Stranger? I went, you know what? This is really rare that a company comes to you. Normally, you got to send out the email and then hope to God someone feels like checking their email that day, and then hope to God again they actually want to respond to you, and then hope to God one more time that they actually give you access. Like, it's this whole chain where a company came to me and said, like, here's the code. You want it? I was like, yeah, sure. You know what? This is a great time to give it a shot. So I fired.
Isn't this basically sponsored, technically? Because he was contacted by the publisher, and then he was given a free copy. Whether or not he was paid, well, that we don't know anything about that. But yeah, isn't this basically supposed to be tagged as a sponsored video? Like, it should be up here or something. I don't know.
Fired it up kind of on a whim just to see where it would take me. Just one of those feeler things. Because as I said, I'm a fringe Digimon fan. Bro, I'm in. This is awesome. I've got so much to talk about. So thank you for bearing with that setup. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're new here, you're into Digimon.
Whether or not he was paid by Bandai, I couldn't care less. But yeah, it is an important fact that they contacted him and they gave him a free copy to review.
I don't know. We'll see where the wind takes us. Consider subscribing. Okay, first off, this game's got atmosphere. It's got aura to it, as the kids say. It's literally the moment you choose which protagonist you're going to play as. Just listen to the music.
Good, good.
Here I go.
Please?
Or when you...
I didn't listen much to the music when choosing the characters. I just immediately chose my character.
get back to your house and you have an attic that you're staying in, listen to the music there.
As you can see, Timo is a very small, tiny little character, and in fighting games, that usually becomes a big issue for the opponent.
I don't even know why I'm getting 2KXO ads. because I've never searched for League of Legends in my life. That's weird. But yeah, for the music in the attic, yeah, I did listen to it. It's quite good.
The soundtrack in this game is so good in my opinion. Like it's like 90% of this game's DNA is just really good music. It creates a great vibe to it all. But I'm just like a very sound driven guy. So to me, like great music just off the rip is always a good tone setter. But where it really starts to separate itself is what's happening in the story. So I'm about 10 hours in right now, and what's happened so far has really grabbed me because
Just a side note, I'm only playing the video in 1080p, so yeah, just keep in mind. I'll place it in the description and
it's like a time traveling post apocalyptic scenario. It reminds me in a lot of ways of one of my favorite Final Fantasy games. Here's another hot take for you, Final Fantasy 13 2. If you've been watching me for a while, you know this. If you haven't, sorry for the unpleasant surprise, but I really love that game. And one of the things I do love about it is how you have areas that have different time periods that you can travel to. This game tackles a similar idea. It begins with a world-ending scenario. The stakes feel high and it's really dark, honestly. Like it gets really grim where it goes. And then all of a sudden, you're back 8 years before all of this happened. And naturally, this story is pushing you to figure out what's happening with these time anomalies and also how you can prevent that outcome from going down. It starts to play with time in interesting ways. Some characters know you in certain pockets of time while they don't know you in other pockets of time. And in turn, creates what I think so far has been a pretty interesting narrative, all things considered. But I have to be honest with you all, as we start to transition into gameplay a bit, a lot of my brain, pardon me, was in Pokemon comparison mode. And I think that's a little bit fair because ever since I was a kid, Digimon was viewed as a directly competing franchise to Pokemon. And it's crazy to me how many risks this game takes, how it pushes its budget in interesting ways, while it does feel low budget in other areas we'll talk about, but how it tries to push itself compared to its competition in ways that I feel more people should be paying attention to, because I wasn't really paying attention to it. All I did when Cyber Sleuth came to Vita was fire it up for like an hour, and then I got really tired. I remember I took a nap and then went and played something else, like just peak high school / early college, just whatever brain. But the story setup is great.
I do have Cyber Sleuth, but I haven't played it yet.
And one thing I really have, again, admired about the Digimon franchise is it tackles it with a level of maturity. It's a more intimate tale about a family who's lost something greatly personal to them, while at the same time tackling something grand, something that's world-ending and pressing. It is very anime, to be honest with you, in like some of the characters, like the host of Occult Tokyo TV being like, you know, a very generic streamer personality. Like, not everything is great here. There are some moments where the cutscene presentation feels very lifeless and low budget compared to the moments they really do push it. You could tell they picked and chose their scenes that they really wanted to deliver a heavy hitter for selectively.
Yeah, that's true. Those parts are actually true, but I wouldn't really say that the family stuff is the dark stuff within this game, because, well, later on, let's see if he discusses it. There's there's actually some dark stories within the Digimon's lives themselves. I wouldn't really say that the family stuff is the dark stuff, given that it's pretty normal for anime, you know, Naruto and everything.
But it's a beautiful universe that kind of mixes these time anomalies with the general public thinking they're like occult happenings, that there are ghosts in this real world. But you, as this like time traveling agent, know they're like time anomalies known as electron life forms, which are Digimon. Like, I just love how expansive the game gets immediately. So that's what
I've just noticed that all of the footage that he has shown so far are in the demo, like in the first 1 hour, maybe 2, or yeah, one, or in the first 1 or 2 hours of the game. That, and we are kind of halfway into it. Maybe he's trying to avoid spoilers
I
or
really
something?
like about the game, and it gets a little bit better with the gameplay. This is a turn-based RPG.
This is the final battle at the end of the demo of Time Stranger. You can try it for yourself.
And it has all the quality of life bells and whistles that you're going to be looking for in a modern turn-based game. For example, you can fast forward all of these battles, so you can put them on like time 5 speed. If you want to farm some of these Digimon, because the way you actually get to convert them is, I think, a really great mechanic. You can just put on auto battle if that's something you want to do. So grinding in this game, if you ever have to do it, it's really set up for that. But yeah, as you're running around and fighting these Digimon, it's not like, and pardon me, by the way, if I know this might be old news to some of y'all, but for me, this is really cool. So when you're fighting.
Okay, so this one is already after the demo because he already has a Digimon.
These Digimon, you start to scan their data. And as you progressively fight them more and more, when you get them to 100%, you can convert them into a Digimon and bring them into your party. Now, if you wait till they're at 200% by fighting them more, you'll get like better stats, better HP out of them, that sort of stuff. I found this just really compelling because it was really fun to fight everybody because I wanted to fight them anyway, as I'll get into the bones of the combat system, but also just knowing fighting is allowing me to get all these different monsters and I don't have to like go and catch them or weaken them or anything like that. Like that gameplay loop is fine for one series, but I love how this one's differentiated itself. Same thing with evolving. Like it's not just one evolving path, but like when someone's ready to digivolve, they're going to go into a multitude of paths. And depending on how you want to break them out, there's could be like 1 of 5 trees for some of these Digimon, and the choices can be really overwhelming, and that's not even accounting for tweaking their personality. So as you fight with them more and you build a bond with them, you'll also be able to talk to them. They're going to ask you questions about life itself. You'll be able to answer those questions about life itself and then kind of like guide them to a certain path, like more friendly, more amicable, or more brave, and things like that. And these will define their stats later in the game as they evolve and grow as a Digimon. Like it's insanely deep, the ways that you can tweak your digital monsters. I thought that was really cool. And then all these extra ones you're getting later in the game, you can bring to the in-between theater, this place that's, I mean, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Velvet Room in Persona. We'll talk about the Persona inspiration a little bit, but it kind of exists between dream and reality, mind and matter. And it's here that you can bring your Digimon to a Digifarm and just drop them off there. You could assign them training programs. You could feed them. It's kind of like the Chow Garden too, if I were to draw another comparable. But yeah, you just always have like little irons in the fire everywhere, things to tweak, things to adjust. I could see people really getting into this. I mean, for me, I'm already playing Trails in the Sky remake. Like I'm a taken man in the JRPG world, but this one really did sweep me off my feet with just how many little things I could do. So much so that you saw I started talking about combat and got swept away by the progression system. Speaking of which, there's agent skills in this.
Okay, I'm not sure if he discusses this later on, but in the training area, here in the farm, you can train your Digimon and to increase pretty much any of their stats. The cap is 9,999. And type A and type B of each type of training, like training for HP, training for attack, training for defense, will have a chance of moving their personality to a different one, like from friendly to tolerant or to reckless and things like that. But with type C, the one that increases the stat at the highest level that the training can, it doesn't change the Digimon's personality. You would need to use that later on because in the Mega Digivolutions or some of the DNA Digivolutions, you would need a specific trait or a specific personality.
I'm a taken man in the JRPG world, but this one really did sweep me off my feet with just how many little things I could do. So much so that you saw I started talking about combat and got swept away by the progression system. Speaking of which, there's agent skills in this game. So as you're completing side missions, as you're completing main story missions, you get anomaly points, and then you'll spend those points on this skill tree. And there's one of 5 skill trees, each for like different types of Digimon and how they scale, like how their stats go up depending on what personality type they are, but also like little buffs. For example, if a Digimon is like newly born or it's matured, like how does that experience bonus scale compared to your agent rank? Little things like that. So there's a lot of things that are always moving and upgrading, and I think that makes the game incredibly addicting. But really where I think the game sings is its turn-based combat. It has little twists in it that work really well, but also big mechanics that I think are really exciting. So like the little things are, for example, you could use an item during a turn and it won't spend that turn. So you could heal, you could restore your SP, you could restore a status effect, you could...
Yeah, the game is pretty, how would you say it, beginner friendly. Like in the actual combat itself, it's pretty chill. So, you know, it's not really difficult. I guess Mega Plus is difficult, but you would have to unlock it. I'm just playing on normal, but there is a hard mode that you can just play immediately, like from the get-go.
Swap someone out even. You could take 2 actions in a turn. This took me a while to adjust to, but just being able to use an item and then commit to an attack really did feel great because I had so much power to play with, and some of these Digimon will hit you really hard. Some of the bosses in the game are pretty tough. Nothing's beat me, nothing's game overed me yet, but this game can be a little bit challenging, which I do appreciate. Basically, every Digimon has their own weakness type, like a triangle, and then that is combined with elemental weaknesses. So if like one Digimon is stronger than another Digimon type, and then they're also weak to fire, you can do like 300% bonus damage. So what this allows you to do when you build your Digimon party is really start rotating them, flipping them in and out, and exploiting the hell out of enemy weaknesses, where like, oh, I'm gonna swap him in, attack, then swap him out so that he doesn't take damage because he's weak to the enemy I'm attacking, but I have an attack that's going to really wallop some damage on him. So there's little tech like that. There's also the cross arts that you can build up. So basically every action you take during a turn gives you what's called CP. Once that's done, you as the player character can take an action that allows you to, say, for example, buff all of your allies on the field, like all of their stats go up, or you can just do an AoE attack yourself. Like it's little game-changing abilities like that. And I said earlier that this game kind of had Pokemon on the brain. Let's get into it, man. These attack animations are really good. I mean, even excluding Pokemon from the conversation, these look really good. This is where the budget was spent. Again, there are some cutscenes and definitely some environments in these dungeons. Like for such a cool universe, and it gets there, man. But like some of these dungeons, the fact that some of the opening dungeons are just hallways, just office building hallways, or sewers? Really? Like, this world is so cool. You're time traveling, but you have me fighting in sewers? What are we doing, baby?
Yeah, you're gonna spend a lot of time in the sewers at the start of the game.
I think that's a little crazy, personally. But again, that's where you feel the budgetary limit. Where you really feel that it's been spent are these monster animations. I mean, they look really good. They have full voice lines for them. They have unique animations per Digimon for when they win the fight. So there's been a lot of effort put into the monsters themselves. They look really good. They're really exciting in combat. They have their own special moves. Again, uniquely.
None of the Digimons that he's actually using are evolved past the rookie level, or in Pokemon terms, basic. It's like the first actual evolution apart from the baby forms.
Voice, like it's really good stuff. And then each of these Digimon you can equip skills to, like not just the ones that they learn, but like you can attach skills to them. You can also attach equipment to each of them, some like buffing their, say, health or their defense and whatnot. So there's like this weird level of build. I can't believe I'm saying this, like build crafting. Hello? Like it's just crazy how much is here. Now, while I've been drawing a lot of Pokemon comparisons, one thing that this game will not escape from me are the Persona comparisons. Everything from the camera work to even how some of the UI just feels, and also the fact that your main character stays in an addict. All this does feel very Persona inspired. The way the music is just kind of very vibey, the way you're kind of romping around Japan, kind of while the world's tearing itself apart, just having a good time, just being a vibe constantly. Like, this game feels very Persona inspired, right? We had Persona 5, and there's been just a series of JRPGs that were clearly inspired by it. I think this is another.
I'm not gonna approve or contradict what he's saying regarding Persona. I don't think I've ever played a Persona game before. I really should.
One in that lineage. But I mean, for God's sakes, we had a Ninja Turtle game that we reviewed here on the channel that had social links. Like, Persona 5's impact cannot be overstated, but this is another one where you can feel some echoes of P5 in this game for sure. On the whole, I think Digimon Story Time Stranger has been pretty good so far. I know JRPGs are really long. I know these games can go really long, but I gotta say, everything from the story to the theme and the general gameplay has me really invested, where I'm gonna hang with this one, man. I'm gonna hang with this one and finish a Digimon game, which I did not expect to be doing this year. I mean, I love that they're continuing to take risks with this franchise, but I also have to say, again, prepare yourself for some shortcomings. Like, some of the cutscene presentation feels low budget. Some of the dungeon design is extremely low budget and bare bones and not exciting, but the gameplay loop and mechanics, at least if you're me and you're new to it all, have been really fun. And I looked at Digimon Cyber Sleuth and I looked at Hacker's Memory. I could see this just being, to many people, a much more polished Cyber Sleuth, but I don't think that's really a bad thing. Especially when across the board compared to that game, a lot of the presentation did get a bit of a buff. But yeah, man, I've been really digging this game. You know me, I'm like a post-apocalyptic scenario guy, so I'm always into that sort of stuff. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave it in your hands. I'm curious to see what you think of my Digimon journey. Do you have any other Digimon suggestions? Would love to hear them. Other than that, though, please take excellent care of yourselves, and I'll catch you in the next Retro Rebound. Peace.
That's it? That's it? That's all he showed? Oh, I hate these ads.
Pokemon.
These are all that he showed? It's a pretty long game. And he was given a copy by Bandai, and this is all that he showed. Like, these parts could still be within the demo itself. Like, there's a different Digimon game. This one, yeah, that's not Time Stranger. This one that's at the end of the demo, like I've said earlier. The sewer lines, the sewer area takes a while. It takes a while before you can actually get to the Digimon world, yeah, the training area, the farm, and the in-between place, you can access it even before you go to the Digi world. But I'm surprised that he got, like, technically sponsored. He technically got sponsored by Bandai. They contacted him and they gave him a free copy, and all that he showed were all of his Digimons weren't even evolved past the rookie level. He didn't even have a champion yet. He didn't have an ultimate. He didn't have his own mega. Like I said at the start of this video, I'm a fan of both Pokemon and Digimon. Oh, well, I was when I was a kid. I kept track of both of them. But I think I've stuck with Pokemon more. But in terms of merchandise, I was with Digimon more because their toys were awesome. Anyway, yeah. If I didn't know anything about Digimon, if I was not a fan of Digimon, if I didn't grow up with it, none of what he showed actually would convince me to buy this game. Like, the areas are just all right. The sewers, yeah, they look bad. This area looks good. The Digimons look all right, but yeah, I haven't seen anything, that really grabs me. Cyclone Mon looks great. His special attack was shown in the video. That's cool. What else? I think Kuwagamon's special attack was shown. Oh, this one with Agumon. Yeah, this one with Agumon, his special attack was shown too, and it looks kind of cool. If I wasn't a fan of Digimon, I wouldn't buy this game based off of this video. I wouldn't. No. What would grab my attention? What would grab my attention? To like actually purchase this game. Yeah, the bosses looks cool, and they're obtainable. All the Digimons that you fight in the game, you can obtain them. It just takes a while, but yeah, I've seen nothing. The bosses looks cool, but the Digimons that he's using aren't. Apart from where was that? Oh, this cutscene. Yeah, that looks cool, but that's in the demo already. And this one with Omnimon, yeah, that looks cool, but how? This is very important. He just joins the battle. You don't obtain him at this point in time. You can get Omnimon, of course. You can digivolve and then fuse Wargreymon and Metal Garurumon to get Omnimon, and his special attack does look very cool, very cinematic. But none of the Digimons that he has were evolved. None of them even actually the rookie Digimons. There's something that separates Digimon from Pokemon. Pokemon's main marketing are the base Digimons. That's why you get all the merch of the Pikachus, the Bulbasaurs, the Charmanders, like the Torchics. Digimon is on the opposite end. Their biggest draw are the final evolutions, the mega evolutions, the fourth forms. And none of his Digimons have even evolved past the rookie level. The rookie level is just above the baby level. It's like if you make a Pokemon video and all you've shown are the, the less popular ones. Yeah, Agumon is popular, but that's about it. He, I'm pretty sure Wargreymon is still far more popular than Agumon. And I didn't even see him in this video. Like, this, I'm not mad at this YouTuber. He can do what he wants. It's his YouTube channel. But I'm just pointing out, sorry. I'm just pointing out that Bandai pretty much just doesn't know or doesn't care really about promoting the game that much, at least when it comes to YouTubers. Maybe they did with maybe they placed more effort in Twitch marketing or something. I don't know. I don't watch Twitch streamers. I don't have a Twitch account. But yeah, well, if you're not a fan of Digimon, can you comment down below what would you actually buy this game? Because I've seen nothing interesting from the Digimons that he controls. None of them are evolved. This is like the first the first 10 hours of the game, given that it's a very long game. So yeah, this is pretty much a technically sponsored video, and none of what was shown would convince you to buy the game. Or, if you like played the game, if you did buy it, then you'd just be disappointed that you don't really get this sorry about that, Omnimon, or this blue Metal Greymon, right off the bat. Like, and the Digimon world wasn't even shown. I feel like this video was kind of rushed. Like, oh, he was given, you know, they technically, quotation marks, sponsored him, so he had to put one out. And yeah, the Digimon world wasn't even shown. It's like if you played Pokemon, or if you made a video about the new Pokemon game and all you've shown is the first area. That's it. The first area, you've evolved none of your Pokemons, and you were given a review copy by what, Nintendo or something, but or the Pokemon company. This is a really bad marketing video for Time Stranger. It's really funny. Like, seriously, this looks bad. You're making Pokemon ZA look better with this video. Again, don't attack the YouTuber. Like, don't attack YouTubers. You can make fun of their content or something. Like, that's all. You know, just remain above the belt. You know, nothing below the belt. Yeah. So all in all, if I wasn't a fan of Digimon, if I wasn't aware of Digimon, this video wouldn't convince me to buy it or to even look at it.